What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and on this video it is going to be a trade recap on today's trade. As you guys know, I have been on a losing streak lately, and currently I am down $270 on the month, um, which is really unfortunate. I've only won 3 trades out of the month, and I've lost 1 to 6 trades out of the month. Um, yeah, lately it's been pretty rough. I've been 0-3 lately. Hopefully we can get a win on Thursday. I won't be trading tomorrow, or maybe I'll trade tomorrow depending on how I look at the market. I won't trade Wednesday. I'll trade Thursday. Friday's a bank holiday, June 19th. And then next week we have next week, and we have basically a week and a half. But yeah, that's gonna be basically it for the rest of the week. So hopefully we could turn it back around, or at least end the month break even. Hopefully we can get something like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started on the trade recap. Okay. So first things first is that right here on the what's it called on ES, sorry, on ES right here, we did have a 15-minute supply zone right here that was during London session. I mean supply, sorry, demand zone. We did have a demand zone right here that did get tapped into. I really like this trade was because as we go to the higher time frames on ES, um, ES looks very bullish. Like we just flew through like on during this day on Sunday. Once market opened, we just started ripping to the upside. Okay, and so first things first is that I always look at the higher time frames. I always want to see if we're bearish or bullish or what is it gonna do. Right? Obviously we're bullish, so I like the way that this was looking. We had this 15-minute demand zone on the 15-minute. On the 5-minute, we also took out London's high. We took out this recent high, so we were looking pretty good. Right? I like this setup because what's it called? Also, it gave us a 13 EMA candle break. Also gave us a candle break as well right here. Right, this candle surpassed this candle, and then we also had a 13 EMA close right here. But this was pre-market. Okay, this was pre-market. So I waited for a retracement to at least come back around right here, which I did right there. And so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna enter right here, and I'm gonna have my stop loss right there. All right. So basically, this is what I did. And once a new candle came back in and retraced, I did um, enter this trade right here. As you guys can see, this was at 840. I entered at 840, and so then this candle was the candle that it gave me. I had my stop loss down here because this was the market open. This was a candle close above the 13 EMA as well, and also respected the 13 and the 50 right off of this supply. I mean, sorry, demand setup. Alright, so this was looking pretty good in my eyes. I really liked it. We reach the 101? Let's see. No, we didn't. We didn't end up catching the one-on-one on this setup, but it was super unfortunate because I really did like the setup and the way it was looking. But what I realized that NQ and ES were looking a lot different. Like ES and NQ were looking so much different than how it was looking. Between most of the time they look kind of similar, but right here on ES, it looked like we were completely bullish, but on NQ, it looked like we were bearish, right? So on ES, I got stopped out. I ended up losing $90 on this trade, um, 95 with 46 cents. As you guys can see, this is my P&L right here. It looks, why does it look dark? But yeah, I've been tracking all my things right here. Bro, maybe you guys gotta see it like this. What the? Well, yeah, my P&L is like, I've been tracking it through here because Trade of 8 doesn't really have. There we go. But yeah, that's my P&L. Like I've been losing like crazy, but with 2 trades, I'll be back up. But hopefully we can get that. I just gotta focus up, and yeah. But yeah. So what I was saying is that ES was looking completely bullish, and NQ was looking very bearish. Right? As you guys can see here on NQ, we were under the 200, the 50, and the 13. Right? So what I was looking for for NQ was for sales, right? I was like, all right, I want to look for sales on NQ, but ES looks really good for buys, right? Decided to take buys right here, ended up losing. I went to NQ. NQ also looked really good. I did not take a second setup because in my eyes, I didn't want to risk me losing again, especially if I would have risked right here, I would have ended up losing $195. That is pretty tough. So I didn't really want to risk this. I'd rather wait for another day. Uh, but yeah, this trade did end up hitting on NQ. The only thing that the only reason why I think that we were gonna go bearish or thought that we were gonna go bearish was because we look, as you guys can see, we are very bullish. Like we are very bullish. Like as you guys can see, we have just been ripping. We gotta have some type of retracement, right? We took out London's low, we took out Asian's low. So yeah, I thought it was gonna do a bounce off of those lows, goes back to the upside, but it didn't do that. Or yes, it did do that, but then it started what's it called, respecting the 50. It tapped to the 50 and dumped, right? So after that, it created a supply zone. I was waiting for that supply zone to come back and retest it. I was looking at this but did not take this, and it gave the candle break right there. You would have entered and you would have ran up a 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 RR, or I would have run it up. But super very unfortunate that I did not end up taking this trade. It's just it's crazy, right? I feel like I'm taking the wrong setups. But yeah, basically this is basically how the trade looked like. It was pretty good. It looked hella good. Um, I don't know what else to say. NQ was the best trade to take this day. ES didn't do much for much anything. It also did create a 5 minute. No, it did not. Well, yes, it did. It did create this 5 minute supply setup as well. For sales, dumped. You would have waited for the retracement. Boom. Or this one right here. Waited for the candle break, and this would have been your setup as well. 1 to 3 RR. But very unfortunate. Gold didn't really do much. I was waiting for this to retest the zone. Didn't do anything. Didn't come back either. Yeah, it's just not doing anything. But yeah, those were basically the trades for today that I was seeing. Super very unfortunate that I did end up losing. But yeah, it just sucks. It just sucks that I'm going through this. But hopefully we can come back much better and stronger. Make sure you guys join the Discord. It is completely free. It is gonna be linked below. But yeah, I'm still down on the month. I will be, hopefully I can get back to break even or at least in profit for the month. But yeah, basically we'll see how this goes. But yeah, boys, make sure you guys join the Discord. Make sure you guys join make sure you guys join, what's it called? Well, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Sorry. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and as well as join the Discord. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.